Okay, good morning to all. Today we are going to develop our first project, which one is very small project, but this will cover whatever we have learned up till now, and also it will cover a little bit concepts of CSS selectors or combinators, which we haven't seen yet, but we will be looking at them because they are easy to understand. I will also cover some theoretical part regarding that within this lecture itself. So this is the practical hands-on session. So what I expect is excuse me, what I expect is you follow this video which I will be posting on the YouTube, and then you just understand first what we are doing, and then you should try it using the brackets editor. Whatever resources you want, I will show you how to download them. Basically we are using two images, this HTML CSS and this little image, right? And these two font icons, so I will show you how to download them. These are ionic icons, okay, and how to use them. So let us begin. So this is a very small project, but this will lay the foundation of three things. First, the basic understanding of what is the concept of layout, okay, layout of the website. And then it will also give you the concept understanding of how uh, you can say format the text, okay, how the margin and padding works when it comes to the look and feel of the web page. Okay, so be attentive and just watch this video if you want it again and again, and understand this basic concept, because this concept we will be using throughout the projects or throughout the assignments that we are going to do in this course. And I'm also sorry for the delay that I'm posting this assignment on the YouTube, because yesterday I had some family function and I could not spare the time, and today in the morning itself I am recording this and posting. Okay, so follow along this video and complete all the sessions. Fine, so let us begin. So here we are designing a small single web page, which is just letting us know, or this is as an example, or you can say a demo blog post. Suppose I have uploaded this course blog, okay, on a particular blog site. So it has normal three sections of a normal any blog post has, which one is the main section where you put your article in. Then you have a side section, okay, side where you will put the links, okay, which I have links to the various blogs that I have posted earlier. Okay, so these are all dummy anchors I have used. And then bottom you will normally have some footer where you will display the author of this blog. So this is very simple, realistic, simple example that I have taken. Okay, so let us start. Now for this, what you have to do is you have to open first the you have to create one folder. Now I have already created one folder, and I have downloaded two images which I have shown you before within that folder. Okay, so you just go into the window, my computer, whatever directory you want, you create it, then download two images, one for the author and one for the HTML CSS, and put it in that folder, and then just open that folder, right? So that folder I have created this course project one, right? And here I have this, okay, image, HTML CSS and kids image. So you can choose your own HTML CSS image, kids image, okay, or I will be sharing this also, so you use this, no issues. I will put it these two images in the, I think I have already uploaded this in the Microsoft Teams in the session 4, so you will find these two images already there. Okay, I have also some code, okay, regarding the formatting of this website which I have written earlier, right? So you can also go through that, but if you follow this video you will get everything, right? Okay, so the first thing we have to do now is we have to create a new file, okay, and we rename this file as, or we will save this file as index.html. index.html. So this will be our web page, right? Then we create another file which we will save as style.css, right? So this will be our CSS style for this HTML elements in this document. Okay, so now first we have to create the boilerplate code that we can create with the help of exclamation symbol followed by the tab with the help of Emmet. Now this is Emmet, right? So here I will change the title. Okay, course project 1. Okay, this will be the title. Okay, we will not you can now follow. I have in the previous session I guess I have shown you how to give the favicon fav icon and put it as a logo of that particular website. So let us have developer tool open and then we will see. So this is what it is, right? So this is what we are going to develop. Now this is not open, but okay, so right now you will see this is empty, correct? This is empty. Now you can here, this is a course project 1 as the title we have given. Now here you can put the fav icon that I have already uploaded the video for. Okay, and in the session also I have covered it. Okay, I think in the session 2. So you just follow along that step and you may put the icon over here. Okay, so next thing that we have to do is we have to link the CSS file that we have created, right? So for that you have to select the type, that is text.css, then a relation of this HTML document with this is style sheet, correct? Sorry, if you are afraid of spelling mistakes, okay, better use the CS brackets. Okay, so in that case you will not have any spelling mistake, right? Then we most important part is the href, that means the file that we want to refer, that is hyperreference. You have to give the path. Now here, since this CSS file is within the same directory, I will be giving this, but normally you will have the URL, okay, which will point to the CSS file. So as in the third project or the fourth project, we will have the entire our website to be hosted on a website. So where there you will also get what I'm talking about, okay, how to give the URLs. So these are all small things. Obviously you will get to know how to work with them. Okay, so this is what it is. Now our style sheet is linked. Now what we have to do, we have to first create the layout. Now I have taught you the div tag. So here this is a hands-on experience how the div tag is used normally for showing the you can say laying down the content. Now let us see what is the layout. As you can see here, if you understand the entire page, you can see there are basically, this is a gap bit. Okay, so these are the main, this is the main container. Okay, this is what the page you are seeing. So this is a one div. Okay, you can have, this is one division of the page. Then within this single division there are again two divisions. This is the vertical part which is separated by this line, and this is the bottom this is the head part, and this is the bottom part, right? You can call anything, okay, whatever the meaningful you want, name you want to give, you can give. So this I will call this as a top, and this is as a bottom part. So within this entire section, again it is divided into one horizontal top section and one horizontal bottom section. Okay, and if you see again, this top section is again divided into the two section vertical section. Okay, this one is the one vertical section and this one is one another vertical section, and it is lying besides it, right? Okay, so here also itself again you have a heading and then you have a anchor and list, okay, an ordered list. And in this section you have this heading and then a paragraph, an image, okay, and the course content, right? So this is the thing. And here again you can see the layout. Here I have a picture and then I have a information. Okay, so these two can be a separate divs tags, right? So if we go along, Okay, uh, let us design this. Okay, so I have shown you in the Emmet. Okay, whenever you want to create any division, there is a very shortcut. Okay, so that we can use the directly class selector with the div that is automatically defined. Okay, the class selector and the ID selector we have learned in the previous session, right? So class selector is have the dot before, so we just write down the name of the class after the dot and we press tab, and in this Emmet will create the div tag for that particular class with that particular class definition. Okay, so here I will say this is a main container, right? Main container. So whatever nomenclature you want to use you can use, but okay, it should be proper. Okay, you should yourself should be able to understand what you are dealing with. Okay, this is now here I have done, I have created one CSS class selector, okay, in the HTML document itself, and after the end of the definition I am just pressing the tab, and the moment I press the tab, what is happening, the Emmet is creating a div tag with this class defined. Okay, this class name defined. Okay, now I can directly go into the CSS file and create the CSS rules for this. How to do that? We normally press just keyboard cursor on that particular class name and just Control E, and then it will show you that whatever you name you want to have. So here what we will do, we will have some background color. Okay, why will have a background color? Because okay, we want the layout first understood, okay, to be understood first. So I will give you the red, sorry, and this, no, this is the main container, so I think we will have the, okay, let's say gray color. Okay, dark gray, we will have this color, right? So if we see, okay, this is the main container, and if you can see the page, okay, you will see the dark gray color is appearing over there. Okay, it is not still appearing because this div is not yet visible, because this div is a container. Unless and until you have the container, it will not take a size. Okay, it will take the size only when you will give the content within it, or either you have to specifically define the size, right? So I can go directly into the CSS block and I will say HEI height. Okay, height is equal to, what you can say, now how do we have learned how vertical height, viewport height. So 100% viewport height if I want to take by this container. Okay, and also there are some white spaces, okay, left and right. Okay, so this we have this white space, right? So what I will do, I will you can say have the margin, okay, auto. So what will happen, it will automatically adjust the margin, okay, from to the left and right depending upon the content, right? Okay, so height we have given auto, but this height, okay, but we also have to give the width, right? So width will be 80% of the whatever the viewport size. Okay, I have shown you that the percentage also you can give. So vertical height you are taking 100 viewport height, but the width you are specifying only 80%. That means you will be using only 80% of the time. So 10% to the left and 10% to the right, you will be putting some, okay, white space. This is what you want to do. So if we save this and if we can see how it looks, this is how it looks. So we have created this div element. Okay, so later on I will remove these colors and the heights that we don't require, because the div normally should take the height of the content. Okay, so how much content, so it will just give the whatever the sufficient space for the content, and it will consume that much height only. Okay, it will not have its own height. Later on we will remove these things, but for the sake of displaying purpose I am just giving you the these things. Okay, so this is how we have defined the first. Now second, after within this div, okay, within this div again we have how many sections, two sections, one is top and another one is bottom. So we can say dot top, top section, right? Fine. right? So within this top section we will have the content, and again we have the bottom section, right? Bottom section tab. Okay, so this is what we have created, this top section and this is bottom section. So top section and bottom section, in between that we have a horizontal line. So what is the tag for the horizontal line? BR, right? So BR. But now here again, now this div will not be created, this div will not be visible. Why? Because there will be only a horizontal line visible. Why? Because again this doesn't have any height, right? This doesn't have any height. So if you see the, if you see how it looks, okay, it will not have any, okay, it is not, it will not be visible. Okay, so again what we have to do, we have to top section we will give the vertical height as how much of the vertical height you want to consume. Now here I can use percentage. So normally the 80% of the is used by the top section. Okay, so I can give percentage, right? And I will give background color as red, right? Then again similarly here in the, okay, so top section we have, then again bottom section also I can. So if you don't want to make spelling mistakes and, okay, nothing should go wrong, you can directly use this method that I am using. Okay, directly you can control E on that particular class name, you will get into the stylesheet.css directly. Okay, here itself again we will have the height as 20%. Now I'm not, I will see whether it will work or not, and if it works then okay, right? And then the background color, okay, background color I will give green, right? Fine. So if we now see, okay, you got it. So this is how these two sections we have created, horizontal and top. Now this BR tag, okay, BR tag is for the break, for pardon me for that. Okay, this is horizontal rule HR. Okay, so mistakenly I have given BR tag. Okay, so this is the horizontal line, you can see, correct, right? So this is what is the layout. Okay, fine. Now this you can see here little bit white space, okay, above. So this is the default white space, okay, given by the, or rather padding given by the browser itself. So basically it is a common practice that normally we use a universal selector. Now what is universal selector? Universal selector is given by the star. That means this style is applied to all the elements unless and until overridden. Okay, so this style will be applied to all the elements, okay, below it, okay, or to the entire document. So here what we do, we reset the margin to 0, okay, then we reset the padding to 0, okay, and we give the box sizing as border box. We have learned why we should give the border box, because it will have the height up till the border, height or width up till the border, whatever we specify. Only it will exclude the margin, otherwise it will include the padding also and border size also when you give the height and width. Okay, that we don't want. Okay, so when we do that, again now see, we have removed that white space, there is no white space. Okay, any extra padding or anything, okay, in between this div also you can see there is, this is only the horizontal line that we have given. Okay, it is not separated. So okay, so we have created this layout again. Now what we have to do, now in the stop section again what we have, within this top section we have again two section, and you can see this consumes 75% of the width and this consumes 25% of the width of the total entire width of that particular div. So we will have this 75%, okay, this much, and 25% for this section. So let us do that. So this is how you normally design the layout. You first design the layout and then you lay out the content. Okay, so this is what the div is used for. Okay, okay, so here again what is that, we have the right RIGHT, right, sorry, main content. So we will say it as main content. Now you should give the meaningful name, don't bother whether it is a big name, small name. Okay, as a programmer, your team should understand what you have done. Okay, so don't be confused for giving the name. Okay, give meaningful name, then only you will be able to uh, use it or communicate it with your fellow programmers. Fine. Okay, so this is what it is. So this is the first main content. Okay, and after this you have another, that is right content. So RIGHT, right, or you can also give instead of left, right and something, okay, you can also call it as a blog. Okay, article, you can say article. Okay, this is where you are showing the article na. So that can be an article, and you can say this has other blogs. Okay, so this is the natural name. That means here the actual contents you are putting now. So this is the article division, and here this is where you will show the other blogs for this particular user. Okay, and now let us apply the style to this element. So this will have the width, okay, width of 75%. Okay, 75% of the parent. Okay, percentage always works in relation with the parent. So already parent is consuming 80% of the viewport width, and out of this 80% we are consuming only 75%, because who is the parent of the article? Parent of the article is top section. And who is the parent of the top section? Main container. So main container is using 80%, so that's why it is inherited by the top section. And then since top section is 80% of the viewport height, article is taking 70% of 5% of that. Okay, so that is what it will do. So and the background color, okay, we will have, okay, which background color we will have? We will have, let's say, yellow. Okay, fine. So let us see whether it is visible or not. It is not visible. Can you tell me why it is not visible? Yes, you guessed it right. Okay, it doesn't have any height, doesn't have any content, so it will be, you have to give the height, okay, manually. Now here this heights we have to delete, because this will create a problem. So what is the height of the parent? Okay, so let us consume 100% of the parent, right? See, so it has consumed 100% of the parent, correct, right? So this is what the layout we have. This is what is the layout. After, later on, we will remove all the colors and heights, and it will consume everything depending upon the content. But this is how you normally design the layout with the help of div, correct? So that's it. Now this other block, now this other block we will not give any color and something, because it is already showing the red of the parent. So here we will only specify the width. So what is the width of this? Okay, it is 25% of the parent, because right side was the main content was 75%, so it will should take 25%, right? So you can see it is okay. So if you want to see whether it is correct or not, you can give the background color. Okay, background color as, let's say, what color you want to give? Okay, pink. Okay, hot pink. Okay, so again you will notice it do not have the height, so it will not be visible. So I can say inherit also instead of giving 100%, but basically it will overflow and it will go below. So it should be 9, just less than the parent. Why it should be, why it is behaving like this, I will show you. It is related with the float property. Okay, it will have to float. Okay, so let me say, see, because all these are uh, block level elements, so this display property should be, or you should give it as float. Okay, float to RIGHT, right. Okay, but it will not float to the right, it will float, but okay, below. So we have to keep it upside now. So that means we have to, okay, what should be the property that we have to set? Its display property should be inline block, then only it will be able to float. Okay, and it's also its parents. Okay, so we have to set the inline block property for the parent also. So we will close this and we'll open the style sheet. So what is the parent container? Top section. So the top section's display properties would be inline block. as well as the article should also be inline block. So these three okay things, okay, top section, it has to be inline block. Why? Because we want, okay, now you can see things are gone, okay, but they are not gone, they are there, okay, they are just floating, right? So you have to have the content, then only it will be visible. So 75% of the width, okay, of the parent, and something like that. So how do we do that? So article is inline block, okay, float, it should be floated to the right, okay, and that should be floated to the left. So float to the right, okay, still it is not appearing, okay, the reason being it is related with the height. So let me delete the height, okay, for other blogs also, and we will put the content and let us see whether it will appear or not. So just go into this and put some para, okay, lorem, and copy this again and put it in the here also, as you can see, okay. So obviously we have, because when the moment you change the display property, okay, the behavior is a bit different, okay, inline and block level elements, okay, they different behave differently. So here we have removed by mistake removed the height, okay. So sorry, we have given the height but removed the height, that is correct, okay. Width is there, so 75%, okay. Why it is not working? Sorry, other blocks by mistake float right, and this is also floating right. Now it should be floating left. Yes, now it is coming right, right. So that was the small mistake. So this should be floating left, the article, and other block should be floating to the right. So it is now appearing properly, okay. So this layout is okay, and this will take the height of according to whatever the contents it has, removing all the heights, because height should not be set, okay, unless and until required, okay. Be very careful when you are setting the heights. It is okay for the mobile device, because mobile device height, okay, can go below and you can scroll down, okay, something like that. So if you, even if you give the heights, okay, on depending upon the contents, okay, normally it will work. But for the desktop, when you have the width and height and different resolutions, okay, it will not work properly, right? So we have to take care. So this is only given for the sake of understanding the layout. So this is what is the layout we have taken, right? Okay, so this is about the layout, and then in the next next video I will explain how to put the content within that, okay. So I think we have seen how it works, fine, okay. So see you in the next video.